Okay, guys and girls, welcome back once again to FTRL for our GT2 Championship here on GT Sport. We have got rounds 5 and 6 of our exciting second tier of FTRL GT, and we are live from Autopolis this evening. So the first race is going to be the sprint race at the short version of the circuit, followed by a 50-minute feature race. Joining me once again, as per usual, is my trusty sidekick, my little accomplice. It is Pagani. Good evening, mate.
Good afternoon. I'm not that little.
Well, I'm always going to introduce you as that now, so you've got to get used to it. How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Looking forward to the races. I'm pleased that it's GT2 that have Autopolis and not us.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. Last time we was at Autopolis, the man that I'm currently on board with, FTL Switchback, decided that, yeah, I was... well, he decided that he was a bull, and I was the... I was waving a little red towel at him. Sorry, I was just reading, making sure everything was all working correctly. Yeah. So it's not everyone's cup of tea, this circuit. Very, very technical circuit. So I imagine some cars on the grid are going to struggle a lot more than others. But yeah, I don't think we've never done the short version in FTRL before, so it's going to be quite new.
It is indeed. I mean, last season GT2 did have the main circuit of Autopolis, which FTRL Junkie Sport did win. And
true.
if you follow our Instagram page, you might realise that Junkie Sport actually runs our Instagram page, as he classified his victory as a dominant victory. He's been chased down most of the race, but yeah.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Right, well, we've got a 12-minute qualifying session followed by a 20-minute race for race number 1. And yeah, I've just seen Zom's had a bit of a change of livery for this week. He's got the Autopolis circuit logo on his car, so interesting. Maybe it's hoping to give him some good luck.
I'm wondering if the one for the next race becomes a rusty Autopolis vehicle. But...
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. So, well, like I said, it was a bit of a step into the unknown. I'm just looking at Junkie Sport's car. It looks absolutely incredible. He's done the livery based on 300. Now, I don't know how many layers there is to that, but as far as putting a few graphics on a car in a game, that is just mad.
It is. I mean, we have seen him do a 300 livery, I believe, in the Group 2 season.
Yeah.
Season 3,
I think in general, like, to have something on stream like that, I don't think it was streamed as much prior on that. I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, that for me wins livery of the week, just for the sheer detail and effort that has gone into that car. That's incredible.
The amount of effort he puts into livery making is fantastic.
Yeah, he's incredible. We're lucky to have him around just as much as we are with Mikey. Unfortunately, he's sadly not racing with us tonight. He's got other things to attend to this evening, but it's a shame to not have Mikey on track, but again, we are incredibly grateful to have him around FTRL. We've seen all the graphics and bits and pieces that he's done, and just like Junkie Sport, absolutely blessed to have him around with us, I think. So, right, back to the matter at hand, really, Pagani.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I'll get slaughtered if there's a space in tomorrow's stream.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Well, let's talk to me about what cars you think are going to be strong around here, what ones you think maybe not as much. Because I was going to mention SPY not being strong in the Ford GT, but he's sitting on pole position, for God's sake. I
would anticipate the Ford not being as good, but I know for a fact that SPY was probably up there with the most practice in GT2.
Yeah.
Anytime he has free, he does the work, he does the legwork, and he makes sure he's quick every week. I mean, you'd expect the Toyotas to go really well. Donzo specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, the Beetle is an annoyance, but it does tend to go well at tight and twisty tracks, so I'd expect to see those two boys up there tonight.
Yeah.
Mercedes,
go on.
Front heavy.
Yeah.
It might not be the best car, but then again, Unsafe is an experienced operator now. He knows what to do, knows how to get the best out of the car. So.
He's up there with one of the best, I think, in this division, Unsafe Release. Yeah, so, I mean, the thing is, the division itself is starting to take somewhat of a familiar shape. We'll go through the standings fairly soon, but yeah, like I said to you, the division itself is starting to take somewhat of a familiar shape, and in qualifying there, that shape is pretty much in the top few, but for Michael C, who's down in 7th at the minute. FTRL Panda, I'm hoping, has a bit of a better week this week. I mean, I don't think he's done literally a lap of practice, because he's only just done the copying for the game update, as I'm talking just before he entered the lobby, which is a shame, because like we've said time and time again, on any form of racing game that I've played, Panda is one of the best drivers I've ever raced against. So if he was able to put the necessary sort of practice, in my opinion, he would be the quickest in this division. So we might see flashes of that tonight, but we'll have to wait and see.
I want to challenge that, because there is Guy Carp in the lobby.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We do have Guy.
He is now an actual team captain. He's the only team captain from GT2. That's...
Yeah, so we better give people a bit of context here. So essentially, unfortunately, Flying Throne decided to leave FTRL GT Sport last week, and he was originally the team captain for the orange cars, or the orange base team, and it was originally done by what I'm not going to say is, but what you could argue to be the top 5 drivers in GT1, all separated and having their own team. Obviously up for discussion,
way, but I mean, it proved its point when those 5 drivers finished in the first 5 places at round 1.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm not talking, in general. There's probably obviously going to be arguments up and down the grid for that, but in general, it was, we've not got that too wrong, I think. But anyway, he's then left, and that has opened up a team captaincy, and the orange team unanimously, from what I believe, voted for Mr. Guy Carp to be their new team captain. So you're looking at the 4 of the top drivers in GT1 and Guy Carp as your team captains. So yeah, make of that as you will.
Any differences between those 5 drivers, personally?
No, I'm just looking at some of the split times. There is not much of a gap at all.
It is a very short lap. It's only 1 minute 6.
The biggest gap on track at the moment in terms of track position is still less than 3 tenths. So everybody's got the opportunity to move up and down. Pandas could go well here. Yeah, he's put himself up to P6. 4 minutes left of qualifying. Well, who's your money on here, Pagani?
I mean, I want to go for something special, but I mean, Panda's in the lobby. He's part of Team Black, so I've got to put my money behind my own driver. So.
Okay, nice. Well, I would like to do the same and go with Donzo. He seems to be pretty handy this season, especially in the sprint races. However, you can make a case really for a lot of people, and that's the beauty of this division. I think there's a lot of closely contested drivers, as you can see by the split times. When we set GT2 up, the times between drivers was all over the place. And now, I mean, you look at FIBA is only 0.004 of a second behind Panda. Sorry, in front of Michael. And Michael's in only 0.17 of a second ahead of Zom. So it's incredibly close.
I mean, I do normally stick with Michael, because we've done commentary together.
Well, he's an OG, isn't he, of FTRL? Yeah.
So, he's Scouse, you got to let that go for a bit, but yeah. He's in a Corvette, it probably won't be the best car tonight, but he does do very well in the longer races. So I expect him to not maybe do as well in the short race, but I expect him to be up there in that longer race.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm hoping as well to see somewhat of an improvement from the Nexus boys as well. Because, let's cut the rubbish. Those guys definitely know how to race. They've raced for a long time in FTRL across multiple games. Again, very much like Panda, I think if more time kind of went into the game, I really do genuinely feel that they could be contesting. We had that little phase where Nexus Cats was putting practice in, and he was really challenging the likes of Darkbolt, wasn't he? in some races. So yeah, exactly. If he could kind of rekindle a bit of form on that perspective, he could find himself up there. It's the same for a lot of these drivers, in fairness. I'm hoping Prototype Steph has a good race tonight. The debut as well for JP, I believe he missed the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, so debut week of the season for JP Greenwood in his bright orange Newcastle based livery around their away kit. Plenty of...
Not my favourite kit from Newcastle, but it did fit into his colour preferences.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you can get your football team on a car, I mean, I love doing it, as you know. So if there's a way to get it on your car in some capacity, you do it. So can't falter his commitment to his team, eh? Oh, Don's a big slide.
Had a look at the chat. There's a few Team Irons in there. There's a Team Iggy in there. So.
Evening all. I will get my phone's currently on charge behind me, so I will get the stream comments up soon, probably around 5-10 minutes into the first race. So do keep your comments coming in. We will read them out as always. I like to think that whenever me and Pagani do the streams, we tend to be quite engrossed.
I'll keep an eye on it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Tor Make It T Smith from GT1 has come on with a Team Ross, which is.
Yeah, well, it's just.
It's in GT2.
I mean, what he's done there is he's trying to attract a laugh, because I mean the idea of Ross being a team captain is just pure and utter comical, really, isn't it?
I mean, I think Ross's captaincy levels have dropped below his cat roller. So
yeah, that is true. I think if we was to have a vote between having Ross as a team captain or his cat would win unanimously. I think. He's almost got the same sort of fame levels as Goy Karp. Well, Junkie Sport is 1,000th of a second ahead of FIBA. Now, FIBA, I don't know if you've noticed this, Pagani. Obviously, it's his debut season with us as well. He tends to be sort of in the mid-pack, but he is literally like constantly 7th. In every race that we've done, he's always 7th. So if FIBA ends up 7th in either of the races tonight, it will be the least surprising thing of the evening.
Well, at the moment, unfortunately, we have Switchback on the front row. He's in G2 currently, and at the moment, we've got purple in Sector 1. So,
let's go on board with him then, shall we?
I mean, I did drink a strawberry review earlier. I don't want to bring it back up, but yeah.
Yeah, seems like a bit of a scruffy middle sector there. Now, this long left-hander will catch people out tonight, just like that. Oh, he's got a penalty as well. Oh, he's 6/10 down. Oh, his head's gone completely.
Oh. Yeah.
He's not even going to be able to do that final lap either, is he? Nope. Well, so that's could be another pole for Team Aaron. SBY is not getting it. FIBA's in P5. He's dethroned Junkie Sport, and Prototype Steph's moved up to P6 as well. So he's Junkie Sport's down in 7th.
All the horses, Goy's on a lap.
Go on, Goy.
I mean, it's 1 minute 40, but he's on a lap.
1 minute 43.4. Good lap from Goy.
Unfortunately, it wasn't an improvement.
No, good lap from Goy there. Solid work. But no, nice to see Goy on track. He's definitely narrowed the gap to what he used to be on GT for Goy. So let's hope he can have a very solid season.
Next Iceman was easily distracted as somebody sneezed on his fast lap. So.
Nice. Well, there's going to be, I imagine, a few close battles on this race tonight, but we are getting ready for lights out for round number 5 of the GT2 Championship in FTRL. Who's your money on, Pagani? I'm going to put it on you now. Are you still going Panda?
Will see a new winner?
Let us know in the chat. Unsafe release is off. SBY is off. But can Donzo hold it into turn 1? Is he going to leave it? Is he going to leave it in there? Is he? No sensible. Oh, Nexus Cats. Oh my word.
Oh my word! Wow. Junkie Sports around in the background.
Absolutely everybody has gone there. I don't know what on earth has happened. I just saw Nexus Cats fly across the screen and wipe out pretty much, well, more than half the grid.
I was about to say Steph for the win, but after that crash, I'm not going to say Steph's going to win because he got caught up in that.
What I will say is Goy Karp's in P8, so not everything bad has come out of that, I suppose.
Panda is in P4.
I know.
I'm sticking with Panda.
Well, I mean, if he gets it, then he gets it. Fair enough.
I mean, it's been half a lap, but he has the most fuel of the top 4, so it's looking good so far.
He's flying, yeah. I love the way Switchback was still managed to come through unscathed from all that as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, for the amount of people that he hits throughout the course of the season, his car's probably just made of like titanium, and his reflects off stuff like that anyway. So, but no, well, hopefully with Switchback we get to see a slightly less aggressive side to him.
Obviously, he wants that calmer side because that's when he drives at his best. Rather than he gets a mindset in his head, go for it, get it done, and that's when the mistakes come, that's when the accidents occur, and when the dodgy moves come. It was when,
see, the prime Switchback, right, and this is what I think a lot of people would agree with me, I think you yourself included, he's in this position now, he's in P3, he's got the perfect opportunity to sit and save a little bit of fuel, because the Beetle's not great on fuel, and try and maybe do something in the pits or in the second half of the lap, but the second half of the race, sorry, but the problem that Switchback has got is his head purely now will be rev the life out of that car because I should be first. That's and I'm not saying that to be not saying that's a bad thing because everybody wants to be first, but like I've said so many times to him, he's got all the ability in the world in this division to be able to actually go on and win it, but it's hard to sometimes distract yourself away from that feeling of I am the fastest in this division, I should be winning everything, and then you make loads of mistakes. So I wonder whether he's going to see a different side to him tonight, or whether he's going to fall back into the same trap. So that's certainly something I want to keep my eye on.
That mindset that Zach's had at the start of the season is one that I came into Season 1 GT Sport with, and I got my ass handed to me. Yeah. So yeah, get rid of that mindset as quick as possible and just drive your own way. Plain and simple.
Well, we've seen it, like you said, it's not just obviously to make it about Switchback at all, it's a genuinely interesting thing really across the board, because so many times you'll see people that will maybe win a championship or whatever a situation may be, and then they'll come into the next season or next race or whatever it might be, going in with that same mentality again, overconfidence, and they'll find themselves further down the grid. Look at Sweeney. He won a championship, granted it was in a Porsche, but he still drove extremely well that season. Following season he was in the Mercedes?
He was in the Mazda.
Mazda. And found himself mid-pack on the grid, and it's hard to adjust yourself for that. I said, you've had first experience of that, Pagani, so have I, in certain areas. It's like, you carry a little bit more confidence and it can throw you off massively. And then what people need to be careful of this week is a track like Autopolis is extremely unforgiving.
I mean, you go wide at Autopolis, you're in a gravel trap. And
yeah, you're in a world of trouble.
5 seconds to get out of it at a minimum.
Yeah.
So but like Iggy says, FIBA has been unfortunately caught in other people's accidents at turn 1 yet again.
Yeah.
P10.
It's a shame.
I mean, work to do if you want to finish 7th.
The thing about FIBA though is full well with him is that he will be staying positive. He seems like a very positive guy, very sort of good mindset when it comes to racing and everything as well. So if there's one driver on the grid that I think will be able to react to situations like that, then we're going to be looking at somebody like him. So fingers crossed he does have a good result tonight and doesn't end up 7th.
Just a quick heads up, let's say Forever the Bridesmaid actually won the race last week. He did finish P2 on the road, but after a steward's inquiry, Michael received a penalty, so it did put unsafe into P1, and after that, he's floating on a wave at the moment. He's currently P1 with SPY 7 things back, so
I'm just watching this scrap between Faber and Steph for P10 at the minute. Guy Carp's driving on his own in P12, so he's currently in the last point scoring position. He's got an exercise man and JP Greenwood behind.
Well, I think the man that got the worst at turn 1, Donzo, was on pole, is now 9th. So, yeah, with pit stops rapidly approaching, what can he do to get himself out of this?
Well, you don't want to speak too soon, but you imagine there would be a steward's inquiry about the goings-on and events of turn 1 in that race. So, yeah.
I think the steward of GT2 it will be looked into, no matter what. So.
Yeah.
Just to see what happened.
Exactly, bit of a crazy one. But Faber and Steph are catching up with Donzo, Junkie Sport and Nexus Cats. There's a little train forming there. Panda's managing to just kind of drive in his own sort of space at the minute. He's maintaining the gap to Zach ahead and to Michael behind, switchback sorry in third, and to Michael behind. So going about his business, doing what he needs to do.
Junkie Sport's got to run on Nexus Cats, come up to the last corner, looks down the inside. Nexus Cats runs a little deep.
Yeah, runs deep.
Donzo's get the better run.
Donzo's going to have a little look as well, maybe.
That Mercedes in a straight line is the quickest out of the 3 cars. Junkie Sport holding the inside line though. It's where you want to be. Pulls up nicely for the corner and gets the move done. So Junkie Sport up to P7, Nexus Cat down to P8 with Donzo in very close proximity.
Donzo being nice and patient. But that Peugeot with Junkie Sport should go fairly well around here. So Donzo doesn't want to get stuck too far behind Junkie Sport, or behind Nexus Cat, sorry.
I believe Junkie Sport will be in a party with T. Smith from GT1. They're both in the same car. So maybe a little bit of help from his team captain there, just to help on strategy, keep his head after that wild incident at turn 1. Like, all you need is a little bit of talking to sometimes just to keep your head in the game. It's still got half of the race to go, so nothing is over just yet.
Yeah, well, switchback's on the attack still and going for SPY. Panda has now lowered that gap down to less than a second to unsafe release, so he's certainly on his way.
Was at the head of this pack, so.
Well, tyre wear and so on in this car. SPY's tyre wear is horrendous. I mean, how he manages to get the speed and whatever out of the car, especially at this stage of the race, is very, very impressive. It must be said. He deserves a lot of credit, SPY.
I mean, mentioning tyre wear, if you just look at Zom, who's doing a fantastic job up in P6, he has the best tyre wear by far.
Yeah.
Hence he's slowly closing up on the back of Michael. So he's drifting a Corvette, which is very easy to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I say that Junkie Sport's now drifting a Peugeot. We've got a yellow flag. Has someone crashed going into pit entry? I believe they did, and that was Zach. A switchback crashed on pit entry.
Trying too hard.
Not something you want to do, but it is very easy to do at Autopolis.
Yep.
Steph also in, Faber also in at the back, so.
I'll switch back down for an undercut then. I imagine we'll see the front few drivers heading into the pits at the end of this lap.
Just the original OG Peteman, just saying hashtag Team Gran, so thank you very much.
Peteman, what a legend. We all love a bit of Peteman.
Had the best looking cars in GT2 last season.
Yep.
Just
100%. Unsafe release is now mounting a challenge, trying to get as close as possible.
First and second compared to Panda is magnificent. So I imagine everyone's going to come into pit lane.
Yeah, Zom's in as well. Zom's done a really good job there. So who's next? Junkie Sport, he's in as well. Who's going to be next up? Nexus Cats is in, switchback is there.
Unsafe SPY are coming out. so undercut has not worked.
Panda and Michael Z are close. Panda's run a little deep, so it was allowing Michael to go side by side with him. Cold tyres coming out of the pits, and Michael is through.
Well, Lennon said Zach to lead after the pit stop. No, that hasn't happened, Lennon. I must say.
No, that's true. factual commentary from Pagani there, lads. Zom's on a little deep, but Zom's still in touching distance here, which
Panda's
is...
gone round the outside of Michael into a long left-hander. Fantastic move.
All you can do in situations like that is admire someone's gonads for said move.
Well, I know for a fact that Michael is in cockpit cam, so you do tend to have to leave him a little bit more room, but yeah, he's usually one of the fairest drivers on the grid. So. Yeah. Unless you annoy him. Or you see some wheels that he likes.
Oh yes.
Well, currently JP Greenwood is occupying that 12th spot in the last points place.
Okay. If everybody who's watching could just quickly like the stream for us, that would be magnificent. Very much appreciated. SPY 7.5 tenths, 8 tenths ahead now. So he's going to try and make a break for it. Unsafe release though, I can't imagine we'll let him go far. And Switchback is on the attack.
So he's got fast as that, but he's got work to do.
Well, I think the likes of Panda, Michael and Zom, that little pack of cars there, Junkie Sport's quickly approaching as well. They're in quite a good position.
It was close. He was about a second and a half, 2 seconds back off the pair in front before the pit stops. So.
Yeah, I mean Panda's lost quite a lot of time since coming out of the pits. He was reasonably close to those top few, so he's obviously had to add a little bit of fuel. That was difficult English for me there. But yeah, with Michael on him as well, Michael will keep him honest, and Michael will certainly keep him on his toes. No, someone did not challenge me to drop the word "go lads" into commentary site. It's just how I roll. Go lads on the brain.
The words that could be used.
I can use him in about 25. I mean, in fairness, though, I think we're long enough. We think we've been doing FTRL long enough to know that nobody else other than the people in FTRL watch FTRL. So we can pretty much say what we want.
Turn one. Well, in that round of pit stops, Nexus Iceman has practically filled the tank, so hence why he dropped to the back.
I can't even see him on mine. Well, okay, oh, there we go.
I know he was a bit far back, but he's not that far back, Aaron. He's still there.
That's weird, because if I press down to go from JP Greenwood down to Nexus Iceman, it goes straight to Goy and then it goes to Iceman. But now it's switched back over now, which is a bit strange. Well, commentary phrase bingo. Okay, it could be quite funny.
I mean, Tom and Lee just had to lower the tone as usual.
Yep. Well, Fever on the attack towards Junkie Sport. He's hungry for his P7. And then you've got a little gaggle of cars in the battle for P4. And you've got a nice even spread between the top three. So Switchback does look like he's got a bit of speed about him at the moment. Unsafe release. Well, SPY has the least fuel out of the top three. Switchback may have overfueled slightly, but
I think out of these three, Switchback was the only one to put fuel in. So, but currently, SPY is doing all he needs to do. He's pulling away from unsafe.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the race. I think unsafe release will come into it in the final sort of 3 laps. Oh, Zom and Michael.
Michael clipped that inside curb.
Zom's going to go through, is he? Oh, it's a drag race now between a Beetle and a Vet.
He got saved by the fact that the Corvette is very easy to get back from being very sideways.
Yeah, Zom needs to hold this down into turn 1, hot on the brakes, gives Michael a little tap. Let Zom up into P5. Michael's going to have a run on him down towards turn 2. In that Corvette, the speed of that car.
I love that car.
Yeah, oh, Michael turns in a little bit too soon. Still knocking boots. Junkie Sports now entered the battle.
I mean, Junkie Sport won't want to attack too much. Oh! You said Junkie Sports here, Fever and Donzo
yeah, they've suddenly appeared, yeah.
I just looked behind and just saw a massive blue thing and it was Donzo, so, yeah. I'm not saying Donzo's large, I'm just saying his car was like, quite large in the replay camp, so.
Well, Panda's now in a little world of his own once again.
I mean, isn't that just Panda on any game?
Yeah, pretty much. If you could epitomise what Panda does on any game, this is what he's currently doing now, just in a little world of his own. He's probably giggling to himself as he's driving as well. But Switchback is getting closer to unsafe release. And SBY is off.
Panda didn't have the best open week, and obviously didn't make last week's races, so it's nice to see him back up towards the front.
Yep. Oh, Donzo's got past Fever. In the battle for P8.
Fever still challenging for P7. Michael and Zoma still having this tussle. I mean, if any car can go around the outside at the hairpin, it probably will be a Beetle.
Yep. Junkie Sport is there as well. I'm wondering when we're going to start seeing the final couple of laps, sort of lunges or more desperate moves and whatnot. But yeah, Lee quite rightly saying go on SPY. He's away, isn't he? He's certainly doing well. Like I said, we all kind of questioned.
Inside.
Oh, we all kind of questioned the decision of his Ford GT, but he's certainly proving its worth at the minute.
Making them Junkie Sport side by side.
Now, I'll be interested to see Zom's kind of nerve here in his bottle, leading in this little pack, because I mean P5 would be a cracking result for Zom. Michael's dropped to run wide. Donzo's now going to go through, and possibly Feber as well. Feber's going to tuck in behind his teammate. Is he going to take a look? No, he's sensible enough. He's waiting for that P7. But yeah, Zom is
unsafe, was very sideways out of the hairpin, and it's allowed Switchback to get within 8/10. I mean, SPY is gone. Like, unless he runs out of fuel, I don't see anybody catching him.
He is off. Up, up and away.
Oh, a few cars dragging a wheel into grass, which is one of them was Michael, and it's allowed Phoebe to get up to P8.
Well, Zom's actually extended the gap to Junkie Sport behind him now, so he's got nearly a second. So good on him. He's just probably he's got 2 more laps to hold on for now. So
Donzo.
Junkie Sport. Zom dropped it.
Spun.
No, Zom. Well, Lee even came in with a hope I don't jinx him, and Zom's proper wedged himself in there. Gutted for Zom.
Lee, this is your doing.
It is Lee's fault, 100%. Can we all get a hashtag wanker in the chat for Lee, please?
City Porsche just done it dirty.
Yeah.
That just hasn't gone well.
So yeah, Feber's now in P7. He's going to be delighted with that.
Unfortunately, Zom has dropped all of that on to P11, but it is still in the points. So.
The one person who I expected to do that said hashtag in the chat is Lennon, and he's done it. So, that's right. Final lap of the race. We have currently got SBY leading in what we would expect to go on and take the race win. Switchback is now 7.5 tenths behind unsafe release. FTRL Panda in P4 in the world of his own once again. Donzo's up into P5, so pretty good recovery considering what happened to Donzo at the start of the race. Junkie Sport going to be on the attack in this lap though.
I'm just going to reference Goy because I know he doesn't get much air time, but I mean he's done a stable of 1 minute 7 lap times, which is what the leaders are doing. So
yeah,
once he settled himself down in the race,
yeah, must have just been the offs then that have done him, unfortunately, which again, like we said, is so easy to do. But yeah, Feber's in P7, but under heavy attack from Michael, his teammate.
SPY is coming to the line.
SPY takes the win. Unsafe release P2 once again. And FTRL switchback brings on P3. Panda in P4. He should be pretty pleased with that, I would imagine. Donzo and
completely sideways at the last corner.
yeah, Donzo P5, Junkie Sport P6, FIBA in P7, Michael C in P8, Prototype Steph in P9, Nexus Cats can take P10. Unfortunate for Zom to only pick up 2 points in that race. He deserved a hell of a lot more. JP Greenwood looks like he's going to pick up the final point of the race, and then we've got Nexus Iceman in P13 and Goy Carp only a matter of a few seconds behind. Not the worst drive from Goy there, in fairness. It's just a couple of mistakes along the way. Well, Goy's wiggling about, he seems happy enough. Goy's just happy to be alive, I think, most of the time, so it's he's away.
Well, there's some wait, at least one person I didn't expect to use your new hashtag in the chat.
Yeah, Simon. But sometimes it happens. I mean, even Lee's hashtag is what he's even done himself in there, but right, let's save the race replay and we'll get a screenshot of said results for race number 1. But yeah, so race number 2 is going to be the feature race for the evening, and it's going to be around the GP version of Autopolis, so the longer version, and that will be a 50-minute race. Obviously the compulsory super soft and medium tyres. All drivers must be do at least one full lap on all 3 of those tyres throughout the course of this race.
Yeah, Zom is. He looks happy. He likes grass, so
yeah.
But yeah, Tom aka T Smith has now come in and said gutted for Zom. No one cares, Tom.
Fair respect. Respect.
Well, Lee says that Koi is wiggling like a koi on land.
Yep.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, no, very, very horrible for Zom. Deserved a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking result. I think everybody wants Zom to do well. So.
Yeah, very popular up and down the grid in all of the chats and whatnot.
Until it all clicks together. Like, he's been there or thereabouts, but it's starting to be more consistent now with pace. So
yeah,
one mistake that race, but
well, like I said to you when we first started the stream this evening, it just shows you, like I said, how unforgiving this circuit is. I mean, I personally, it's one of my worst circuits on the game for enjoyment, but you know when you get it right, you can hook it up massively.
Yeah, I just detest this circuit. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Zach cost me a championship around here, but
that doesn't sound like it, no.
No, I'm not still bitter about it, but
yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't sound like it, to be fair, mate. You know. No.
But I've just seen a little argument going on in our WhatsApp chat, which is nice, between Lee, Lennon, and some of our other GT1 drivers blaming each other for Zom's misfortune.
Right, JP's come in, so it's looking like it was an incident involving JP Greenwood at turn 1. And yeah, just a knock-on effect. Unfortunately, that can happen, but like I said, on some of the circuits, it's just horrible, isn't it? It's you can just ruin a race from the get-go. One little incident in the first corner, and then that's it. Unfortunately.
Well, Panda has gone out to get his only practice of the day, so it's nice to see.
Good to see, yeah. Good work.
I can't imagine that NSX is going to be very nice on medium tyres around here.
No, I was thinking that earlier on.
But Junkie Sport chatting away in the chat, just get your own head in the game and forget about what everybody else is doing. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If anybody goes for a different strategy around here. I mean, it's a lot of laps, and the tyres didn't like our 40-minute races around here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what 50-minute races do, and I've seen at least one car on the soft tyres in pit lane. So. It would appear Oh, Donzo's got lost and thought he was still doing the short circuit on his out lap, so at least he's done it on the out lap rather than the first lap of the race. Yeah, Goy is warning people for his starts. Yeah, it's Goy is still using no traction, so his starts aren't the best. We have told him to put traction on for the start to help him off the line, which a lot of people do, but no, he wants to go all out and use no traction all the time, so yeah, Tom has, I don't think he appreciated my comment earlier and put a video in the WhatsApp chat, which is he said it's something he's going to do to me tomorrow, which yeah,
maybe that should be kept private, Pagani.
Yeah, being rammed somewhere, shall we say, with something attached to it. But yeah.
Oh, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what Tom's going to do to me tomorrow. So that would mean you're behind me, Tom. So I'll take it.
Yeah, right. So 1 minute warning. So the boys are not messing around tonight. Then we're on for a 50-minute race.
Switchback needs to hold on because people are not in their cars yet. One of them is Zom and he's typing. So yeah, I'll drop a message about getting in cars.
Yeah, please do. Be great. Right, I'm just going to grab a glass of water before we start.
Coolio.
Bear with me, everybody.
Well, yeah, it is pretty much the same sort of track you've just seen, but rather at the end of the long straight where you had a hairpin right, we now have a hairpin left and a hideous last sector, which yeah isn't the most fun for anybody. It's a lot of tricky turns. I mean, Steph has spun coming out of the last corner, which doesn't bode well. But yeah, you need a car that has a very sharp nose, that turns quick, has a very stable back end so you can push it, because there's a lot of corners that lead into other corners. So you need to be settled on the exit. Yeah, everyone has managed to get into their cars, so at least everybody will be starting.
Well, I'm back. We're all good to go. Oh, perfect timing. Here we go. So we're going to get a Goy Cup on pole, which is what everybody wants to see. Let's hope turn one's a bit more safe this time.
Everybody except the guy who wants to see Goy on pole. I mean, I remember a certain Goy pole position at Baku on F1 last season before, where the term "don't go full Goy" occurred.
Ah, yes, I also remember said statement. But right, we're getting ready for 50-minute feature race around Autopolis GP, round number 6 of the championship, and we are away. It's like a very, very good start from Nexus Cats. Yep. Couldn't see behind the lines there. JP Greenwood down the inside of Goy into turn 1. Brakes very, very... Well, to be fair, it looked like he's braking late, but I think Goy broke early. A bit more clean this time.
Everybody's around turn 1.
Nice to see. Nobody's skidding off in the background. Goy, is he going to lose another position to Nexus Cats? Hopefully not. Got to consult. Someone's off and... Who is that?
It's Zom.
Yeah, Zom.
I think Feber might have been involved because he is waiting.
Alright, I might have given him a little nudge maybe.
I mean, if you want contact, you want it in the open corners because it's a lot easier to catch up while everybody in front is still fighting. However, Michael's made his way from P7 on the grid to P2 behind Nexus.
Oh, contact between SPY and Switchback, and that's made Panda go off.
He was probably spooked by seeing cars inside of him, but yeah. I mean, Domino's had a fantastic start. He's in P6.
Yeah, I think Switchback waited for Panda there. I don't really think it was his. It might not have been his fault there, but
I'm seeing a couple of cars sideways in the braking zone, which is not how you want to stop your car, boys. Just heads up. You want to stop it nice and straight. Save the tyres. Oh, guys, clipped the grass with 3 wide.
well, Nexus Cats and Michael have made a break for it. Donzo and Steph not too far behind. Goy Cup. Junkie's Ball's gone.
He tried to go around the outside of Goy and fluffed his lines a little bit. And
Got his lines wrong.
Around the corner. As you see, the front two are bolted, but Michael's looking down inside the Nexus Cats into turn 1. Gets the Corvette stopped. Nexus Cat's looking for the switchback on exit. He is there. He has got a nose alongside coming into turn 2. Michael brakes very late, but makes the apex. So Michael into P1, which is dangerous for everyone else because Michael's looking very good in these longer races, and he's already at the front.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's I think when he can sort of drive off in his own world and his own space, he tends to be very, very good, doesn't he? Especially in his longer feature races, like you mentioned earlier on. So will Michael be able to put in another strong performance? I think he technically won both the feature races so far, hasn't he?
He has.
But obviously unsafe release done him last week for a because of the penalty that was dished out.
It was actually between the guy that he just overtook, so at least it proves there's no malice and it's all clean, so it's all right to say.
Exactly.
Well, Steph in P3 is coming under fire from his teammate Donzo, which is something you'd probably like to see, but yeah, you don't want to see him do too much battling.
No. Well, I would imagine with those guys, given how much communication there is in our Team Aaron little group chat that we've got, Steph, I think he recognises if Donzo is faster, he probably will let him go. So
He's clipped the grass in the background, had a little spin as he dropped into the back, unfortunately.
yeah, he's dropping down. Come on, Goy. Keep going.
Lennon says he's going to give Zom a hug. Okay. Have fun with that.
Liam's in the chat. Good evening, Liam. Thank you for popping in, mate. Coming in supporting Michael. Yeah. Yeah, had some serious pace in that Formula 1 practice race here. Nexus Iceman under pressure from FIBA. Zom's still there. Panda is slowly creeping his way up the field. He's probably going to bide his time a little bit. Those mediums will not be nice on that Honda NSX, I wouldn't have thought.
There's two NSXs in GT1 and both of them look quite twitchy on a medium tyre, so yeah, I don't expect Panda to be any different.
Well, SPY has cleared switchback now from their earlier exchange that they had.
Oh, Junkie Sport and JP Greenwood contact on the long left-hander. Is there going to be more coming into hairpin? Junkie Sport looks to the inside. Oh, there's more contact.
Scrappy driving there. Hopefully there's no silliness down into the next. Oh,
that Aston's not stopping. It's in the grass.
Now Panda's entered the fray.
So it's allowed a wild panda to appear. However, he hasn't appeared too quickly because he'll spook himself. So but, like I said, Donzo has now made his way past Steph. And those two have both made their way past Nexus Cats, who is having a Mercedes battle with unsafe releases. Michael has pitted very early.
Getting off those tyres.
You know, I had a word with Michael yesterday, and he said he'd received a strategy information from his teammate Unsafe. So if they were doing the same strategy, Unsafe hasn't pitted, so I don't know.
He's done him dirty there,
strategy anymore.
Just sent him a strategy which is completely wrong.
However, FIBA, who's also part of Team Iggy, has come in on the same lap, so yeah, maybe Unsafe just going a lap later or just running his own race, but yeah, two members of Team Iggy on the same strategy.
Well, there's a nice little scrap forming again with unsafe release, SPY and switchback.
Right, I think these three have been fighting most of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when you get the same protagonists fighting out week in, week out. You learn how each other drive, and maybe who can't handle the pressure just a little bit. Some cracks for them, but yeah, from the outside it's fantastic.
Yeah.
However, being in that position, yeah, I don't like being under pressure. So. And currently, I think Nexus Cats is the man under pressure. Oh, contact with SPY, unsafe. Let's allow switchback to go in the middle. I mean, I'm not sure it's the safest place to be at the moment, but yeah. I mean, that Beetle must feel so inadequate in a straight line with the companies around 2 Mercedes and a 4 GT. But through the corners, you'd expect it to be flying. But currently, a team are on 1-2.
Ironically, I've got a sky blue shirt on as well. So, don't want to say that I'm a massive fanboy, but you know.
I mean, I'm not being in my team colours because I'm in a brown one. I'm that boring.
Yeah. If there was a colour of shirt that would sum you up, it would definitely be brown, I think.
I mean, luckily my dad behind me is in a black shirt, so luckily he's supporting the team.
Supporting the team, yeah. Well, Nexus Cats is doing a massively good job at just being a huge bus at the moment, so...
Well, I mean, he's been in F1 and he's raced on at the podium, so maybe he's learned a few things.
Yeah. He's got a massive gaggle of cars behind, hasn't he?
Put the nose down inside, switchback, luckily saw him left the room, but yeah. Some interesting moves being made, but Michael is in the back of this group now. He's on a soft tyre, and now he's being held up. So whatever strategy he's on, he's either going to have to make it work, and
this is seriously close.
Yeah, Nexus Cats is definitely the cork in the bottle.
Yeah.
As these guys go 3 wide and switchback loses out.
I think unsafe might get him. Is anyone going to dive into the pitch, do you think, with it being sort of on the first 10-minute mark?
Checked out. Switchbacks in. Will he crash this time? Not, he made it the pitch fine this time.
Unsafe release down the inside of Nexus Cats into turn 1 should get that job. Should be job done.
Oh, Michael trying on the outside of SBY.
That would have been a lovely move if he made that stick. However, what unsafe release would be hoping for now is Nexus Cats to kind of have those other guys sit behind him, and unsafe release can maybe try and clear off, create a bit of a gap, although SPY has made a little bit of contact with Cats, but Cats still manages to hold position. Fascinating little battle. This Junkie Sports now entered the battle as well.
Oh, Nexus Cats are very sideways off the hairpin. I've seen a lot of tyre wear on that Mercedes. Considering he's on the medium tyre.
Yeah.
Oh, SPY looking down the inside. Nexus Cats runs wide. Gives SPY the inside, but SPY gets a wiggle on exits. Very equal coming off the corner. Nexus Cats will have the inside for the right-hander. Stays in fourth, SPY. It's very difficult to look for an overtake towards this last sector. You're looking for the car in front to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, concertina effect. I think all 4 made contact with each other. But yeah, unsafe is pulling away now from these 4.
Well, Donzo's checked out. Prototype Steph is just over 4 seconds behind. Unsafe release mirrors that as well. Behind Steph.
Himself in the grass, which you don't want to do. Michael's trying to outdrag a Ford GT in a straight line, but has slipstream working with him. Gets past the Ford in a straight line. Michael up to 5th.
Yeah, Nexus Cat's done a very, very good job of defending position. However, the guys will be getting increasingly more frustrated. Michael might try this around the outside here and does. Very nice move. Good job.
That is basically a fresh set of soft tyres versus a very worn medium tyre for you.
Yep.
Gives you that extra confidence on the brakes. SPY sideways out with the hairpin. he would be past Nexus Cats, but some of the exits he's getting from these corners isn't the best, which is allowing Nexus Cats to get the drive and go clear in a straight line.
And Michael C still looks very strong in this race, I'd say at this point. 10.4 behind the current race leader. He's cleared Nexus Cats as well. He's got his teammate in his sights and he has closed up to unsafe release. So, different strategies going on.
I will say it's fantastic to watch how the 50-minute race opens up and changes.
Oh, part-time Steph's round.
Oh no.
Steph dropped it in the McLaren and he's struggling to get himself back on track. He's lost him a massive amount of time.
Maybe this circuit just hates McLaren.
Oh, he's gone again. Tyres have gone. Now City Posh Blue will know from first-hand experience that those McLarens are not very nice around here. FTRL Panda now coming up behind as well. He's managed to clear him around the outside too.
It's weird because there's not a lot of tyre wear on it, but you can always feel it better when you're driving. SBY is coming into pit lane. Expect Steph to do the same.
Yeah, sorry to see that. Sorry to see that for Steph. Unfortunately, he was in a really, really good position at that point. SBY has come out behind Panda, who has got a jump on him. Because I think Panda did actually pit.
But Michael's caught unsafe. Not as unsafe, let Michael go. He's on a different strategy.
I mean, you would like to think so, given the fact that they're teammates and whatnot, but we shall see. Their cars always remind me of the BP garages. Unsafe and everybody else. Nexus Iceman has left the room, unfortunately. I'm not too sure what's happened there.
Well, he was in 12th, around there, so I expected to be a disconnect, but unsafe has held Michael back at the hairpins, so it looks like these boys are fighting for on-track position.
Interesting decision there from unsafe release. Surely you would have thought to let your teammate go. I know he's got ambitions of winning the league, but Iggy will be tearing his hair out at the moment.
He does usually in these feature races. Nexus Cats has spun. I'm not sure if he was helped into that. It was Junkie Sport behind him. But yeah, Nexus Cats is down to it. I
mean, maybe unsafe release is going to box, so he's just going to let Michael go, but either way I think he's really hampered his teammate there.
I want to say he's held him up for a full lap.
Yeah, unsafe's in. Yeah, I mean, so the argument might have been that he was pitting anyway, but
I mean, it was nearly 2 seconds Michael's lost in a lap.
Yeah, he really has. But I mean, nevertheless, he's re-inherited the race lead. But those couple of seconds, I mean, as we've seen in both divisions, can sometimes be the difference between about 4 positions at the end of a race. So, Panda and SBY into turn 1. SBY gets the job done. Panda going to try and hold it around the outside. Doesn't quite have the grip to do so. SBY on fresh set of super soft tyres. So it's not really Panda's fight, this one.
Well, Lennon, who was a GT1 Iggy driver, says Iggy's fuming.
Ooh.
So obviously not part of the plan.
Getting shouted at in the chat.
Well, Feber's currently P3, which is nice to see. It's nice to see him not in 7th. So.
Yeah. Did he finish 7th for the last one? Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He loves a P7.
Just come up the pits in P4. So. Don's is looking very good at the moment for this race. I mean, it's very early doors, there's still 34 minutes to go. But I mean, if you're not in there with a chance early on, you're probably not going to be in a chance at the end of the race. So.
Right, Michael C is still currently in the race lead. Faber is trying to hold off Donzo at this stage, and Junkie Sport is just ahead. Donzo needs to clear these guys quickly if he can.
Oh, Faber's sideways, those tyres aren't happy.
Donzo, nice to see him staying patient though. Donzo around the outside of Faber onto the inside for the final corner. Lovely move.
Ballsy.
That is a move and a half. Cracking job from Donzo. Is Faber going to
hold some fantastic moves last week?
Donzo's an excellent driver. He really is a good driver. Like I've said before, it's nice to see him, SBY, and when Peteman was driving as well, kind of flourish a little bit more sometimes. And I know they won't mind me saying this as much. Sometimes it's a little bit. It's quite easy to get lost in that division sometimes because it is so fast. Not anything against those guys, but the fact that it is so ridiculously fast in that division. Even if you are 2 or 3 tenths off, you can find yourself right down the bottom of the grid. So maybe before it was quite, you know, you want to hold on for dear life sometimes, but now these guys are able to kind of flourish and be themselves on track. You've really seen the best out of them, so I'm really pleased for Donzo. That was a sensational move.
I must say, to make a move work, you need 2 drivers, and Fever, to all his credit, held the car to the inside so it didn't run wide, so it didn't put Donzo in the gravel, which is always fantastic to say.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Fever, to be fair to him. I know he had a tangle with Panda in week 1, which he did then quit for to stop himself getting any form of points, which was, I mean, respectable in itself. But even his attitude around everything anyway, if he's been caught up in a tangle, as I know he's had a few lap 1 incidents and stuff, but he's been nothing but positive, always been positive in the chats and whatnot as well, and he seems to be a real pleasure to drive against. So very, very pleased to have somebody like Feber on board.
Well, say it quietly, but Boy Carper's currently P11.
Go on, Goy. Go on, Goy.
There's Michael Pitts from the race lead. Well, considering how early he stopped early, he's taken these softs quite a long way.
It certainly has.
Fever is in the same lap, so both of these Team Iggy cars are on the same strategy, it would look like.
Yeah, there must be.
However, it brought Michael out behind Junkie Sport once again. 2 former teammates, now head-to-head enemies. They can come out on top. Both on the super soft tyre. Panda's on these soft tyres, and he's taken them a long way in the very second hand now. I expect him in this lap, but he's got rapidly.
Well, he's also done a medium and a soft run, so I think he might just be pitting every sort of 10 minutes. So that could be the strategy for quite a few people, pitting every 10 minutes. It's easy to keep on top of that way, but it's not always the best strategy to use. But we'll see. Panda really sideways going through the hairpin. Junkie Sport is through. Michael doesn't want to get held up behind Panda, so he wants to close up, but not too much by the end of this lap.
Oh, Panda sideways again. He's got fantastic car control as well.
Yeah, like I've said, he's an amazing driver, is Panda. He really is an amazing driver. It's I do honestly believe that he would be a potential, if he really put effort in, he's a potential GT1 caliber like champion. If he really put some time in. I mean, you've seen on Formula 1 when he plays that and he does all that on the pad, he was mixing it with the best that we've ever had. So, and that's when he's kind of motivated to do well. He is a very, very, very fast boy, is Panda. And I'm pretty sure you'd agree with me on that.
I would indeed. I mean, he's got poles in GT1, he's got a race win in GT1, and he's been up there, but without much practice when he was doing that. So
yeah,
just the calibre of driver has increased. So I'd say if he practiced as much as us boys, he'd be in our little pack.
Yeah.
Sort of 4th, 5th, 6th.
Top half for GT1, wouldn't he?
As Steph and Feber are fighting once again. They fought in the earlier race, but now they're back at it once again. Feber running a brand new set of super soft tyres. Half a tank of fuel. So you'd expect
you can see the extra grip. Feber around the outside of Steph. Around the outside of Steph for the... Ah, lovely move. Seen some really, really nice moves. Steph, I mean, is noticeably struggling, to be fair, with the grip on that McLaren's, which I can only feel for him for. It's not going to be a fun half an hour for Steph now, but nevertheless, cracking move from Feber. Not forgetting that this is Feber's like first league season as well. He's never league raced before, so to be doing that in what is only your 6th race of the season is really, really impressive.
Well, switchback is the new cork in the bottle. He's got SBY and unsafe release right behind him. SBY still no super soft tyres, don't forget. They are more worn, but it is still a softer compound. So
yeah.
he's all over the back of that Beetle.
GT2 really living up to expectations, isn't it? It's some of the moves that are going on are absolutely brilliant. Switchbacks into the pits. Unsafe release and SBY resume battle once again. SBY on the supers, unsafe is on the soft.
I'm going to say something which will probably annoy a lot of people, but I believe the driving standard in GT2 are the far superior over GT1.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, GT1 boys, this is what you got to do. So if you're not watching, get watching because they'll teach you how to drive. Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, I was just about to say Tom, to be fair, and Ross. An unsafe release is keeping SBY honest. So the tyre wear is in unsafe's favour, and fuel is marginally in unsafe's favour as well. So at this point, he's looking pretty good. Don's 8.2 clear.
For reference, your new boyfriend's coming to chat and just slated Lee.
Who, City Posh?
Yep.
Your new boyfriend.
Oh my god, I'm not even looking at the chat.
I've just seen it all.
No. We have two Beetles on track. Zom in front of Switchback after Switchback's pit stop.
Ross has piped up saying I'm never near anybody, never near enough to anybody to hit them, so it's not me. Well, Donzo's increasing his lead quite significantly, so he looks in really, really good shape. I need to stop getting distracted by our chat because I'm just going to laugh and lose it, unfortunately.
You'd think we'll be pitting this lap. He's taking his super soft an awful long way.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of that, to be fair. He's extended by unsafe release by a couple of tenths as well.
Though.
Junkie Sport's on his way. He's going pretty strong.
Unsafe down inside of SBY after that mistake.
Everyone paying an interest in Ross's health in the chat. It's lovely to see. It's like a real family.
Don't start. Ross will not talk to you for weeks. Switchbacks made the move on Zom. I dare say with those two being teammates, it would have been quite an easy move. I think Zom would have let him by. Yeah.
For those that just for want a little bit of context, for those that are looking in the stream chat, like I said, we try and keep all of the comments read out and interact with everybody who's watching. So Ross, who's Megatron in GT1, was just talking to us the other day, and he was just expressing how everything, you know, FTRL and everybody in it just feels like a family to him, and it was, you know, it's been really, really lovely. You know, Ross is like everyone's sister, and you know we all love him dearly in FTRL. And he was just saying how much of a nice family feel there is to everything. You know, he can't wait to all meet up and go down the beach and skim some rocks together and everything. Yeah, you know, it's nice to know that people feel that way about FTRL. So good on you, Ross, and it's good for you to come out and say those things. You know, it's really meaningful for a lot of others, motivational, if you will. So
SPY is coming into pit lane. He's held up Junkie Sport for the lap, or as Junkie Sport would say, Civvy, which doesn't make sense, which is SPY. Yeah.
Okay, right, back to the serious action.
After that earlier stop, Panda out in P10, just run around by himself. Where will SBY come out in regards to Panda? We've got a yellow flag, what's that for? Oh, it's gone again.
Panda is coming out, well, SBY is about a second and a half, 2 seconds ahead of Panda. So
Tom now says that camping is Ross's favourite. Oh. Okay,
that I can vouch for, to be fair. I can vouch for that.
Junkie Sports just going on the outside, everyone's safe at the long left-hander. Again, another fantastic move. Yeah,
just looking at the tyre wear for unsafe release. I mean, not taking anything away from Junkie Sport for that move. But yeah, unsafe release, I mean, he's going to really suffer this lap.
Well, Donzo in the meantime is doing what Junkie Sport did last season, just running cleaner, just doing his own race, and he's got a 12.2-second lead. So the question is, will Junkie Sport put this one on Instagram and say it was a dominating victory? I doubt it. What battles do we have in the background? Not so much, it's just really this pack that Michael's trying to be part of, but not enjoying these super soft tires much. But we're getting closer to unsafe, as unsafe's due in.
Yeah, Junkie Sport dives in, Unsafe Release dives in. It's going to be a pretty close battle towards the end. What tyres is Unsafe going to go on to? I'm pretty intrigued.
Zom also in, again having another good run. Steph also in the background. Where will the boys in the pits come out in regards to SBY?
Well, SBY's just gone past Junkie Sport. Junkie Sport's got the jump on Unsafe Release as well, and Panda is really close to Unsafe. It's important for Unsafe that you didn't get out ahead of, didn't get out behind Panda, should I say?
Well, I'd expect Michael in this lap. He doesn't have a lot of fuel, but Donzo has less, so expect the front two in this lap.
Well, I've just had a text message from my nan saying, "I'm family, can you take me to the seaside and skim some pebbles?"
I'm not saying.
Come on, Junkie Sport. My nan's rooting for you, apparently, so that's motivation if you need it. Oh, God.
Just a heads up, can we remove the skinny dipping involved? Like, I don't want to think about it.
Well, to be fair, you are thinking about it now.
I know. Well, Goy is unfortunately. I think Goy was thinking about it as he went to the beach. I mean, he went to the gravel.
Yeah.
So he has dropped the P13, unfortunately. But Goy will carry on going. He's determined as a right back in football.
Oh yes. Well, Junkie Sport 1 second behind SBY.
Don't even go there, Lennon. As Michael has twatted into the wall in pit entry, he lit the rears up. His car is smoking because the tyres are still red on the screen.
That's impressive, to be fair. Jesus, they are, aren't they? They're really going for it. Otherwise, the mechanics just stood there, just not giving a monkey.
The car's on fire, it's fine.
It's alright, yeah. Fever's in the pits as well. So those boys are certainly mirroring each other. I think Unsafe Release have done them dirty with that strategy for the race.
Well, all I'm going to say is I think Panda's had an incident because he's nowhere near the back of SBY Junkie Sport and Unsafe anymore.
We might have had a bit of a wiggle somewhere, but Fever's only 2 seconds behind on a completely fresh set of super soft tyres and wheels on nearly half-worn softs. So,
well, for reference, Aaron, Tom has apologised to your nan for the awful filth in the chat.
well, to be fair, the vast majority of the filth that comes out of my mouth I've learnt from my nan and granddad anyway, so...
Well, I think JP tagged the wall in the pit entry, and I think Goy has gone fishing, or he's looking for the beach, because he's going a little bit slowly, but he's back up to speed now.
Well, Donzo's on the attack for P1. FTRL Switchback is currently in the race lead. But Donzo's on completely fresh set of super softs, and I imagine Switchback is going to be in either this lap or the next. Fever's charging for that P7.
Lee's picked up on an interesting point. On fresh tyres.
Loves a P7.
Panda will be into the pits.
Mitch is here. We should have a nan race. That would be the best thing ever.
I mean, some people won't be able to take part in that race.
No, that is true.
I mean, I could dress like a nan, but I don't have a nan, so... Well, Junkie Sport is on the back of SBY to just think about the race for a second. But the next question is, will Junkie Sport Spartan kick SBY into the gravel trap? We do hope not.
Wouldn't put it past him, no. I just love the way that he's got a half-naked man on the side of his car.
I say that would require Junkie Sport to get his leg above his waist. So So yeah, it's not going to happen.
Everyone's now asking for my nan on comms or they riot. So, I mean, I do live about 4.5 hours away from my nan Iggy. So if ever the opportunity arises, I will get my nan on commentary. That is I'll get my nan and granddad on commentary one day. That's a promise. That would be funny.
The only issue is I could imagine Granddad Bob being well up for it.
Oh God, yeah, he would. God, he would. 100% he would.
Well, Panda has pitted and put just shy of 3/4 of a tank in, so I'd expect him to be back in by the end of the race. But that has dropped into P10.
Nope, switchback's going to lose position to Donzo up the inside. Lovely move, Donzo. He's away. The stream chat is getting incredibly wrong.
Well, City Porsche called me a nan, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say because it's highly offensive to nans, so no. But yeah.
Well, switchback dives into the pits from the super soft tyres. We approach the back end of this race. Just 17 minutes to go. Donzo has retaken the race lead. He looks odds on at the minute. Junkie Sport weaving behind SPY, going for a look down at turn 1, is he? Yes, he does. Had a couple of moves there, Junkie Sport. Not really sure what he was doing. He's on the attack for P2. Unsafe release lurking in the background in P4 with Michael in P5. But Junkie Sport does go through.
Just for reference, all the Team Iggy group chats for strategy are done naked, so that's probably why they're so quick.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why you need to go Aaron. That's what you need to do in future.
Yeah. Well, I think whatever I'm doing at the minute with Donzo is working, but Donzo goes purple by 0.4 of a second, so he's absolutely flying. He's away. Junkie Sport holding on to P2 at the minute, quite deep into the hairpin.
Unsafe has got some work to do if he wants to finish second in this one. Got less fuel than two in front of him, so we'll have a longer pit stop. Michael behind on the supers is closing up to them, not as quick as what you would expect.
Oh. I can't imagine the vet's too nice around here, I must say. But then again, I can't imagine the 4GT's particularly nice around here either.
I mean, the vet would be nicer if Michael would stop twatting that last corner curve. He's done it about 12 times and had a slide every time.
Well, shock horror news, breaking news, Feber is in P7 and he's got 5 seconds behind and nearly 5 seconds in front. So...
what news for all the kart fans out there, he's only 3.5 seconds off a point, but...
could you imagine the scenes? Yeah.
However, Junkie Sport is pulling away from SPY now, he's got in front. I mean, out of the cars in like this 4-car battle for second, you would expect the Peugeot to probably be the best handling car around here.
Yeah. I mean, Donzo doesn't look like he's going to get touched, I don't think, in this race. With that gap.
I hope he doesn't get touched. We've got what, 3 doors in the league.
Yeah,
but
true that. Well, Unsafe's closing up to SPY now, so Unsafe could make a late charge. Could we see another P2 for Unsafe release?
Lee's going to change Fever's name and put 7 in it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it. Who's that lurking in the background? That is Switchback. So,
I mean, he does tend to lurk, like, just in the bush.
Yeah.
In the background.
Is he?
With his iron on hair.
Is he going to have to refuel? I think he is, isn't he?
I would anticipate so. But
Yeah.
he is gaining on Michael.
Strange. I thought if he was, because I mean he's only just pitted, so 15 minutes to go. I thought he would have put enough in the car to go to the end, really.
Well, we saw he has quite good general knowledge. Maybe he can't do maths.
Yeah.
So, don't know. Zach appeared on tipping point and did very well. So.
He did, to be fair to him, yeah. For all of the stick that he gets off of us, he did do very, very well. Got a Formula 1 question wrong though, which was funny.
Big F1 fan, me.
Yeah, that was just one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Nexus Cat's pushing hard, was purple in sector 1, dipped the wheel in the grass in P11. But I
Panda
think
not
he's safe in P11. He's 36 seconds behind Panda and 19 in front of GFA.
I say Panda's in a world of his own as well at the minute. Once again, 36 ahead of Nexus Cats, as you say, and he's just shy of 10 seconds behind Prototype Steph. So Steph not enduring the best of times at this point.
Junkie Sport is massively pulled away from SPY. He's got 3 seconds on him now.
SPY has dropped. I mean, it went to tyre wear. I think it's the biggest difference there between the two. Unsafe release as well. Right on the back of SPY, Michael is coming and he's bringing Zach with him.
I will say Michael is gaining, but not at the rate you would think of using a super soft tyre. And Zach just waiting in the background, seeing if anybody has a comb. However, Zom P8, he's been very, very... Oh, someone's off. It's Michael.
Oh, he's proper off, isn't he?
I mean, if his car wasn't see-through, it would be... You wouldn't see it because of the grass, but Zom is going past.
Even Zom's gone past now. Steph is on the way. That's a fabulous bottle.
I'm looking at Michael and he's got a lot of front tyre wear. I would have thought he'd have put the brake balance towards the rear and not there. That's what you have to do on the super soft tyre.
Yeah.
However, I didn't do it last week, which caused me some trouble. But
unsafe, he's got smoking tyres as well, yeah.
As does SBY. Like, they've either really got really warm rear brakes or they twatted the entry wall coming at the bits. Michael did not pit. We've got him in front of SBY. But SBY on fresh, super soft tyres, you would think would get the move done fairly quickly.
Well,
can SBY do an undercut? If so, he's going to have to get Michael out the way.
I'm really shocked why Switchback hasn't put more fuel in his car.
Well, Lee's claiming that he was hoping that Michael was doing well and hoping to jinx him, but it already happened, so... Well, City Posh and cheering on Donzo. City Posh asking how many stops has the leader cut down? One less than everybody else because you're due to come in the bits. If that helps.
Here he comes. I think it is Donzo, isn't it? He's the clear and obvious favourite for the race.
The leader. Junkie Spot might have another lap in the tank, but I'd expect the Donzo would. No, he's staying out as Junkie Spot, so. Bit of a strange run, but maybe you can't take super soft tyre as long as it is.
Switchback has gone through.
Just behind Switchback, so.
Yeah, Donzo's still in prime position here. Faber's in the pits.
I was going to say, for Donzo not to win this race would require a power cut. So.
But yeah.
Shit, I shouldn't say that. Touch wood, that won't happen. There's no mind look at wood and I'd receive a lot of blame. So. Well, Goy, after being 3 seconds off a point, is now 48 seconds off a point, so I think something might have happened.
Yeah, possibly. I think he was pulling over, letting people through as the leaders were all going by. City Posh is coming saying cracking information, maybe Aaron should answer next time. I agree with you, to be honest with you, City Posh. I'm definitely the brains and the strategist of FTRL here.
You say that, but you don't know how many stops Donzo's done either. So.
Yeah, he's done 4.
Well, we'll switch back, try and hold Donzo up a little bit for the Junkie Spot in front. I mean, it seems pretty useless, but...
Then again, Switchback is useless. So, if we're going to be honest...
tomorrow's stream's going to be fun.
It's alright.
SBY and unsafe release, side by side coming out with the hairpin. Unsafe, yeah.
Donzo's on the attack. 8 minutes left of the race. I don't know. I'm trying to put Hit him.
Don't hit him. Drive past
Him off.
him.
Hit him. No, Donzo cruises past switchback like he's not even there. Nah, Donzo's well away. Switchback versus Junkie Sport. And then Zop, to be fair to Zom, he's going well. Unsafe release is coming round. He has got a nice little gap on SBY at the minute.
At the moment, Feeber's in 7th, but I think he might overtake Zom in pit lane. Yeah, Zom's still getting fuel in the car as Feeber goes past.
Yeah, Steph goes past as well. So Feeber's in P6, Steph in P7.
P7.
Yeah. Zom in P8, Michael P9, Panda down in P10. Goykarp's a minute off of points, but I still have faith.
He is, but he's giving support to Panda through turn 1, which is always nice to see.
The only real battles at this stage at the minute is a switchback on the back of SBY.
Switchback has the freshest tyres.
Just in Lee's message, Feeble will be getting a nosebleed being that high up. There's one place higher than usual. Donzo has recovered well, I agree. City Posh, mate. Putting some serious. It's been flawless in this race, really. As old Donzo. But Switch Junkie Sport 15 seconds behind, but he's in P2 pretty comfortably as well. Unsafe release is on the attack. He's bringing SPY and Switchback with him.
I mean, to be fair to Donzo, he's looked pretty flawless since he's into GT2. He's been immaculate.
Oh.
He's been one of the top tier go-to. Look, this is how you drive in GT2. He's done everything right. There's Donzo. This the last few seasons.
Switchback nearly caused a massive crash by leaving his nose in on SPY as he was turning.
Isn't that just what he does? Bro, I'm going to get slaughtered tomorrow.
City Postry must say this track is mentally draining, more mentally draining than physically. It's just pain to drive. Yeah, to be honest with you, it's mentally draining for commentary too. Autopolis, I cannot stand this track. Don't be wrong, the races have been quite entertaining, but I don't know, it's hard to, when you're doing commentary and when you've done it, well, over the course of however long, sometimes the track is so heavily dependent on the sort of enthusiasm on some of the commentary. Like what Lee just said, it kind of feels like a chore to drive. It's the same with sort of speaking about the races around here. I don't always find them particularly great, but luckily the GT2 boys have actually put on quite a nice show this week.
Well, I think for City Porsche it was just physically draining because he got sick of going round in circles when he did last time. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was like going to a park and sitting in one of them little dishes that you just get spun around in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's less mentally draining when you're not going around in circles. Like when you're just driving the track, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, Iggy said Autopolis is a great track, and then already told Mitch to shut up. I don't know if that's because he's going to answer it or because of something you said earlier. So
he's a good guy, Ziggy. Big fan. No, do you know, in fairness though, you say that, City Posh, it was when we had a massive crash around here involving Switchback, he took me out, and that then took Pagani out and whatever else. Oh, SPY on going for a move into turn 1 on unsafe release. Gets the job done. Unsafe goes for a switchback, doesn't make it stick. For SPY now currently holding that final podium position in the race.
I think this battle's going to go at the end. Switchback is on the much fresher tyres. Again, he's got to wait for the opportunity to arise because with those fresher tyres, he'll be able to put the car where he wants it, but two in front where the grip is.
Yeah, Lee's got involved in the shut up Mitch thing as well.
As long as I got taken out, that's just not nice, City Posh. But at least I finished second in my race. I didn't get lapped twice. Oopsie.
Oh, the banter's flying off left, right and centre. Oh, Junkie Sport's off. He's proper fucked it. Sorry, I don't know, I shouldn't have said that. It just came out. I'm very sorry, everyone. I just spoke what I thought at the time, and yeah. Oh no, Junkie Sport, what's he done?
Like, I'm going to say what I said in the first week. You can deal with Junkie Sport after this race, not me. I don't think he's going to be very happy.
I've just been called a potty mouth. Oh, Carl's... What's he done? Is he pushing too hard at the end, do you reckon, or...?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but City Posh has angrily retorted back to me and said it was 3 times he got lapped, not 2, when I should get it right. So...
yeah, make sure you get your facts right.
Mitch has come back, hashtag shut up Mitch, I'm claiming that before you guys do. So
fair play. Well, nothing but respect for that, Mitch.
Got up the inside of unsafe into turn 1. Unsafe still looking on the outside, but it's on the pressure tyres. Keeps the inside line and gets into P3. Can you catch SPY?
I mean, Junkie Sports tyres are still in a really, really good place. However, he's only got this lap and the next one to be able to get it done.
Well,
but
his tyres might be in a good place, but I don't
there's
think
his head. Yeah,
place.
That's a good point, to be fair. It's a very, very good point.
It's very difficult to get out of a mindset you don't want to be in. I found that out in Brazil last week. I got roughed up early on and my head never came back, so yeah, it was very easy to get lost during a race, especially if you make a mistake by yourself.
I've just had another message come through from my nan saying, what you just said about Junkie Sport, is that a racing term? Well, I said, well, he's proper fucked. Yes, Nan. Yeah, it's all the good commentators say it.
Yeah, just listen for Martin Brundle next time he's doing the F1 commentary.
Yeah.
He'll say about Pierre Gasly. But yeah, we've got a 3-car battle for P7. Steph, Zom, and the recovering Michael C. Zom is on much fresher tyres than everyone around him.
Yeah, Steph, I mean, I'd be surprised if Steph manages to hold this on for another lap, considering the life of his tyres and not looking particularly nice, I must say.
What, a Spurs fan? Bolt something? Don't they normally just slip it, fall over? What else do Spurs fans do? Be indifferent? Oh.
Well, final lap of the race.
Trying to close up, but I think
he's lurking.
Will be too much. But if contact were to occur,
well, you can only do what you can do. Goy's taken 15 seconds out of JP Greenwood, so he's now down to 45 seconds. But I feel like that might be a bit too much for Goy to make up. I mean, he's off, and yeah, okay, he's back on. Don't worry.
what City Posh is Dunzo has had to perfect some spins, and Lee's come out and said that Murray Walker always said that someone had proper fucked it. But
well, I've legitimately, sorry guys, I know this is so unprofessional, I've legitimately just got a text message from my nan saying, you never got that language from your grandparents, you little fucker. Right, sorry, Donzo. Round the final corner. I'm so unprofessional as a commentator. Don't let me do this anymore. But Donzo comes home, takes the race win. Cracking job from Donzo. Well done, mate.
Oh, SPY and switch back. He did catch him, did switch back, but I expect SPY to make it very difficult to get past, and that Ford will be quick in a line. Yep, SPY holds on.
Yeah, gets it done. Nicely done. SPY. Oh, unsafe release has just held off Junkie Sport as well. Fever's going to come in being P6. He's over the moon. Look at him.
Go on, Fever.
Go on, Fever. Well done, mate. Prototype Steffi has managed to hold on. He's held on to it.
Probably backwards.
There we go. Michael spun it across the line. Panda comes home to take a P10. Next is Cats has already finished. JP Greenwood. Let's just watch Goy Carp coming around the final corner.
Well,
he's over the moon, Goy. Look at him.
for reference, your nan now has more fans than you in the chat. So.
Yep. Yeah, well, cracking job from Donzo there. Dominated it.
It did indeed. But Toyota did very well, but Donzo handling it was also pretty handy himself.
Here we go. So we're going to get the race results, but nevertheless, that is an end to what has been a very, very good, solid performance there from Donzo. SPY takes home P2 and switchback rounds off the podium. Another pretty exciting battle in GT2. Starting to get quite a nice little theme here. So, but no, everybody, thank you all very much for taking the time out of your Thursday evenings to enjoy some racing in FTRL once again for the millionth time. And yeah, like I said, in some unprofessional commentary terms, but nevertheless, it makes it a bit more fun for everybody, doesn't it? So let's
expect it when those two are about. So.
Exactly. There's no point even. And if ever you hear me saying, "Guys and girls, welcome back to FTRL" at the start of a stream, you know full well that this is not going to end well, because that will always mean that Pagani's going to get introduced as well, and that's just
that's
a
always
bad.
The worst.
It's always it's a bad knock-on effect for the room. But no, well, thank you all very much for taking part. Thank you to Pagani for helping us out and jumping in as always. And well done to tonight's winners and podium sitters. And please come and join us for tomorrow night, where we have got the wet week. So we're going to be driving around the Red Bull Ring, the short version.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
The Red Bull Ring in race number 1, the short version, and then the GP version in race number 2. And yeah, so that should be pretty fun, pretty exciting. Never know what to expect other than a T Smith win. And we will catch you tomorrow night for that. So please come and join us and come and show plenty of support into the stream chat as always. But yeah, once again, we'll catch you next week, and thank you all very much for watching, and good night.